All right, welcome to Pat's Cast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. We are a proud member of the Saskatchewan Podcast Network. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
And this is our episode for January 19th, 2020.
Kept in there by Whitting, right circle, seat card, snapshot, scores! Off the polish and in his first game, he's got his first Western Hockey League goal. For Whitting, left side the line, Denemy, slap pass, back door, they score! Logan Nyhoff! Riley Crane into the offense's own left wing, got left circle, center for Smith, a shot, and he scores! Zach Smith!
All right, thanks everyone for listening in, watching, or connecting in live via Twitter, YouTube, or Facebook. Of course, replays are available on each of those platforms after we broadcast. Follow us on Twitter or Instagram at WHLPatsCast. Interact with us and your comments there. Okay, Chris, we got 3 games to recap this week. But I think before we get to the 3 games we played this week, we kind of got a little excited last week. And Johnny on the spot, we were watching that Everett game, and then quickly went to broadcast and didn't actually finish watching the end of that.
Yeah,
and there was a lot that went on there.
We saw the empty netter and we're like, okay, yeah, it's time to let's get this show on the road, and we totally missed what happened after.
Absolutely. There was a lot that happened in the last few minutes. So probably most significant was that little bit of a line brawl that happened. Unfortunately, Mackay Mitchell kind of got himself put in a vulnerable position there with, I think the linesman kind of got in the way.
Yeah, he wasn't able to defend himself very well.
No, it didn't seem like it. And then Dawson Butt just teed off on him. I don't know how many shots he got in, but some pretty unfortunate events to Mackay there. Broken facial bones, it sounds like. And Dawson Butt received a 12-game suspension for that. I don't know what the suspension, is it just the outcome? Was that what you think it was? Or
I don't know, but I don't know what happened before. I didn't go back too far in the game, but I know Mackay, he gave a guy a cross check. I don't know if it was Butt or not, but just one of those cross checks against the boards, nothing too bad or anything, and then but he kind of seemed to lose it, and then once he got done with Mitchell, he was getting escorted away by the linesman or the ref, one of the two, and he went at Pratt too. Like, Pratt was tied up with somebody else and he tried to jump Pratt as well. Like, he was absolutely lost it.
Yeah. And I saw the coaching staff too was losing it too, like at the very end of the broadcast. If you go back and just go to the very end, when the game's over, they're going at it.
The ref, the actual ref actually stepped in and tackled 2 Silvertips at once. Yeah. That was crazy. And they actually seen that it was getting way out of hand and they had to jump in, and the linesman couldn't handle what was going on. And kind of as a whole, this whole road trip, the games are very chippy. Very, very chippy.
Yeah, you have a theory about that.
Yeah, and I was thinking, well, are the players thinking there's no repercussions because they don't have to play each other again? Okay,
it's a one game.
It's a one game. That's it, and we're not going to see them for the rest of the year.
And I don't think it's that those teams are inherently maybe more violent, but you're right. It was just like game one, teams that there shouldn't be a history, but now I think there might be with Everett. I don't know how long that'll carry on.
Well, okay, so you look at Tri-City, Walker takes that knee, and then Everett, that happens. Then Seattle, a minute into the game, there was almost a fight.
Yep.
Okay, what's going on here? The Portland game. Okay, the Portland game wasn't chippy really at all.
No.
And then, the score maybe dictated that.
Yeah, I think so.
And then the headbutt in the Spokane game.
Yeah.
It's 6-1 and the guy's headbutting guys.
Right.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I was very confused by the chippiness of this because we haven't seen, how many fights have we seen before this trip?
Dirty play you don't see a lot. You don't see the chippiness, and maybe you're right. Yeah. It is just there isn't the repercussion. It's the one, you get the one shot in, and you don't have to maybe keep your head or looking behind your back through the whole season. Yeah. I don't know, but even Phil commented, and I've watched some games down the States. They do react different. The fans they do react differently to fights. It's like everyone's waiting for it.
Yeah.
And they play the Rocky music. It is on, and it's an extra part of the game down there, I feel. And I don't know if they do that down there on purpose or.
It's like the car crash, NASCAR,
Yeah,
just waiting
yeah.
for a crash. Big,
And that's
something
not
to
all
happen.
fans. I'm not trying to bash American fans or anything like that, but
Well, I know
even just they promote it. The
yeah,
venue does, right?
yeah. I mean, you see teams have gone away from showing highlights of fights now and stuff like that. And,
Yeah.
but there's lots of fans up here that
That's absolutely
enjoy
true.
the fights
yeah,
as well.
You hear
right?
the fight, chant and all this, and
You hear the rink perk up when there's a fight.
Absolutely.
There is a definite increase in interest and volume.
Yeah, it just seemed to be, I don't know, a little more violent and
Yeah, it definitely seemed to be.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, sorry we kind of jumped the gun yesterday or last week to get to recording and didn't actually see that bit. But definitely some follow for it. And I don't know what Mitchell's prognosis is.
Yeah.
It's going to be a while.
I
he just got back too.
I know he just got back from injury.
Sucks.
And Paddock even not called him out, but named him in that press conference with the trades. He's like, yeah, Mitchell's back, and I want to see him in the lineup, on a more consistent basis.
Real shame.
And now he's out again. Like that.
Yeah, I imagine he'll be wearing a cage for the rest of the season. Well, if he comes back.
If he even makes it back for the season, right?
Who knows?
The season isn't much longer.
I was counting up how many home games we have left. It's not a terrible amount. Like I know
there's only a month, just under 2 months of season left.
Yeah, because it's mid-March that it ends. Let's not dwell on that, though.
No.
So let's talk about the games this week. First up was Portland. This one, leading into it, we thought, well, it's pretty much one of the best teams in the WHL against us, who, as we just mentioned, had an unexpected injury, well, a couple unexpected injuries, really, with Walker going down, Mackay Mitchell out, and then was Englot out for this game yet?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. So we had to call up Leighton Feist and kind of welcome to the
Well, he was called up prior to the trade deadline, I think.
He was called up, yeah.
Yeah, so
this was his first game, though.
Yeah, just in case, right?
So,
but yeah, he got
welcome
thrown
to
in.
the show.
And yeah, he was thrown in there in the Portland game. Nothing like playing against the best team in the league.
Yeah,
and
good
going from there.
Yeah. So you had a 15 and 16-year-old D pairing.
Yeah,
in the back.
I don't know if they actually were paired up all game. I can't remember now.
Yeah, the lineup at least had it that way.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It's not a totally unpredictable outcome of that game, I think.
No, and yeah,
it's a shame. I mean, the score's lopsided, and but I don't know what you're really expecting.
Hey, we put up 4 goals on Hofer, though.
That's true. Hey, let's take that.
I was taking that as a definite positive.
For sure. Yeah, fair enough.
I know I was talking to Josh Kreitzer, who we had on, and he said, well, if I get any interviews with the Pats guys, what do you want? Or do you want me to send you the interviews? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll take them. And he's like, yeah, I'll see if I make it down there or not, depending on the game, right? And he's like, I was really looking forward to talking to Saskatoon and stuff like that. And the game was 8-0. So he's like, I didn't even bother going to talk to Saskatoon guys. And so I was like, okay, well, 8-0. Well, that's, we lost 9-4. So we put up 4. Like, you can't, nothing wrong with that, right? So, and so he didn't end up going to talk to any of the Pats players or coaches. But yeah. So I just thought, well, we put up 4, and I'll take that as a positive out of the game.
Totally.
So I don't know if you want to. I got an interview from Strush on talking about Leighton Feist.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
If you want to hear his comments.
To that, yeah.
This is kind of, I think it was before the Spokane game. So
okay.
Feist, and he's been impressive, hasn't he?
He's been fantastic. I mean, for us, having only seen him, training camp a little bit there, as a coaching staff, as an organization, the stuff he's done against some good teams and some tough buildings to play has been remarkable. With and without the puck. I mean, he's made a lot of mistakes for sure, but they're mistakes that he made by having the courage to try things, and that's what we need from a kid who was drafted in the first round. So that makes him a special player for us, and it looks good for the future.
So nice comments from Strush there on Feist. Honestly, I tried to watch him during the game and didn't get a good sense in that Portland game.
Yeah. I'm sitting at home. I kind of get distracted. I don't pay as close attention to the games like we're.
It's harder, yeah, because you see what the camera sees. You don't always necessarily get to watch what you want to watch. Because if he was at home, I would really focus in on him, right, and try and watch it.
Yeah,
but,
you can kind of see him away from the puck, what he's doing, otherwise, like, and stuff like that. But yeah, and it's late at night too. I was kind of just sitting there. I didn't.
These were some late ones. That was a tough one. I didn't stay up for the whole thing, to be honest. Yeah, but. I mean, you can look at the score, but not a horrible or unexpected outcome, I think. So next was in Seattle, and actually we got Josh Paulus up for that game. Kind of nice to see him. We both were really impressed with him in training camp and preseason, so nice for him to get a chance. I guess it's kind of under unfortunate circumstances, but good for him to get up. And hey, he got a goal in his first game.
Yeah, I almost thought I've been thinking about this lately. Like, should he have been up here instead of Stanek? Like, I have nothing against Stanek, but being a 16-year-old, has he contributed that much? Has he played that much? But again, I got another interview with Strush here to go on Paulus, and they've really liked his game. You know, he is older. I mean, he's been playing junior. Like, he's playing against. Not the same competition, but similar age groups, right? He's playing against older guys, bigger guys. So I think maybe he was a better fit for this team. But I mean, it's here nor there. Like, but yeah, he looked good out there. I thought he got some decent ice.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it was a good opportunity for him with, again, because of injuries and whatnot. But good to see him out there, and he didn't look out of place.
No, not at all.
Another person who didn't look out of place was Busky.
He was inconsistent, I thought.
Okay.
In this Seattle game, they had lots of chances early. They missed some open nets. They had... Yeah, he looked really good in that Tri-City game.
Okay.
I thought. The Seattle game, I thought he did not look good.
Okay.
Like, I think they were lucky to get out of that first period in Seattle, only giving up one goal. That's what I've got written down in my notes. Like, they had some really good chances.
Fair enough. Fair.
Yeah. I wouldn't... Yeah. Like, I was really impressed with the Tri-City game. Even though we lost and gave up how many ever goals, but I thought he was the best player that night as a whole.
I thought he looked decent in some of the Spokane game, at least, until things kind of
unraveled there.
But
and then Bellick got in as well. In the Spokane game.
Yeah.
So and Phil even threw it out there. He said he wanted to maybe see him start Bellick.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
why not? If he was there.
Yeah. Well,
he was battling a bit of an injury too, though.
Yes, so I was kind of surprised to see him play. The keeper was on the lineup, on the Pats Twitter lineup, but on the actual
For the Spokane game?
For the Spokane game, yeah.
Oh.
So, because Bellick was injured, right?
Yeah.
So he must have been with the team because they're not going to bring him out to Spokane to back up one game.
No.
So he must have been with the team recovering whatever
They probably
the deal was.
Brought all three, maybe sent keeper back.
Yeah.
Early.
And so then actually went back and looked at Phil's lineup once Bellick got in, and the actual game sheet shows Bellick in. So I was a little surprised to see him because, you know, I thought, well, he'd just be wherever rehabbing or getting healthy or doing whatever.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's in the game in the third period. I thought, okay, here comes keeper, but no, it was Bellick instead.
So you said you got an interview with
Strush on Paulus.
Okay.
If we want to
let's
cue that one up.
I know Paul scores the goal, and that's maybe the big thing, but he was pretty impressive, wasn't he, his first game? He's not scared out there.
No, you know what's the important thing there is, and I know we've talked about it, is the fact that he's playing junior hockey. He's playing against men, the older players in that league, they're men right now, 19, 20-year-olds. So his ability to play at that level gives us the advantage and him the advantage coming here and playing at this level. So we knew he was a worker. We knew he didn't lack courage, and he showed that the other night, and he got some good ice. He's going to get the same opportunities here tonight.
Awesome. Yeah, so, I mean, same things we're kind of seeing. It would be nice to see some more of him, actually.
Yeah, that definitely.
Maybe going forward we will. Anything else you want to say about the Spokane game?
They had some nice jerseys. I like those military appreciation jerseys.
Yeah, I was wondering, I asked you, is it because I was looking at it, I'm like, is that camo? Is it a military appreciation game? Why now? Like in the middle of January?
Okay, well, yeah, I have no idea why, but then Toronto was doing it too on Saturday night.
Yeah, you're
the
right.
Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
So I have no idea why it's happening
It's not
now in January.
November.
No, yeah,
or something. Yeah.
I know. Either way, but so I even looked online just to see how they were auctioning them off.
Yeah.
And it was a blind auction. So you put your price down, drop it in a box.
That's kind of what you do, anyways, right? You have your set point.
I guess so. Yeah.
And you just that's what you go to, and maybe it's a little more exciting doing it the other way. But
live, you get kind of
you basically have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, you probably get more money out of a live because
you get
like, well, okay, $5 more bucks, $5 more bucks,
another
like,
20, another 30.
Maybe blind is a little bit safer.
Yeah, it's a little safer, but you have less chance of winning. So, but
yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
Or you could put in a bunch of it and then just end up with like 6 jerseys.
Yeah, you got to buy them all. If you win them all, you buy them all.
Yeah.
It clearly said that on the website.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So, and it was weird. So they were wearing white helmets. So I
Yes.
think they have red or blue helmets, whatever. So they probably didn't match with the black. So the Pats were wearing the blue helmets with their white jerseys.
Yeah, they probably have white and red. Because I was thinking, though, maybe they have blue. But no, you're right. They would have red. And then, so the Pats had to wear their blue helmets. And it
looked kind of odd.
Looked odd, yeah. Just wasn't what we were used to. It doesn't look as clean, right? Because they wear the whites with the whites. Look pretty nice, actually.
It just looked off. It didn't look bad or anything. I was just like, oh, they're wearing blue helmets.
Yeah, it looked off.
Yeah.
Okay. And one last thing, the attendance there.
Yes, okay.
They had over 8,000 people.
They had 8,000. And so I went back and looked at Spokane's attendance kind of throughout the season.
Yep.
And they get anywhere from 3 to 10. So that's
Depends on the promotions or how they.
Yeah.
It's kind of a collegey town too, right? Because they have Gonzaga there, so
okay.
It could maybe do with that. I don't know if they get a bunch of college students or if they promote that to maybe they have like college nights. I don't know.
Yeah, and I didn't look at the capacity of the building. Obviously, it's more than 10, but the city is the same size as Regina. So that's if they're getting 10,000, that's
significant.
Yeah,
it's really good.
But I mean, when you see 3, that's a little disheartening. I mean, they have a decent team, but
absolutely.
But they range anywhere from 3 to 10. So
okay. Well, for trivia this week, I wanted to look back and see, has there ever been actually a successful U.S. road trip?
Oh.
So I did find one. So I'll let you think about, and you got to think about when these teams actually came into existence and when the road trips and this. Now, Kevin, I'm sure, would have much better statistics than I could find, but the WHL website only goes back to 97. And they didn't have the same. And that at one point they were doing actually it every year. And then one year they went back to this
the
alternating.
Yeah. So there's only really 20 years of history there.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And if anyone wants Pat's history, reach out to at the Blue Liner. When he calls himself the Pat's historian, I didn't fully appreciate what that statement meant.
Yeah.
Because his binder of stats is unbelievable.
Yes. Very impressive. I
was taken aback by the level of detail in it, and when you're looking for this stuff, it really kind of there just isn't that much information out there. Really, I was trying to find it, and so anyways, just think of the best, at least in the stats that I could find, the best U.S. road trip. Okay, while you're doing that, the Saskatchewan Podcast Network is supported by Connexus. Wellness, however you define it, is achievable. You don't even need to figure it out all yourself. Talk to Connexus. They'll give you guidance, motivation, and the push you need to reach your goals. They've got you. They're your financial partner, and they know you can achieve your very best, your financial best. Prove them right. Start it right at Connexus Credit Union. So, in 2001, 2002, and this must have been before Everett was there, they actually did a sweep. 4 for 4. They beat Spokane 7-1, Tri-Cities 2-1, Seattle 7-1, and Portland 4-3. And this was only a 40-win team, so it wasn't like...
That was the year after the Memorial Cup.
Wasn't the best team, and even the year we had 52 wins, they didn't do too
Did
shit.
Did they go to the U.S.?
I don't know,
year?
actually. I forget.
For some reason, I think they went to BC that year. Well, I guess 19, they went to U.S.
It was the year after. It was the year after they did.
Yeah.
Or year before.
Well, it would be both, but...
Yeah. It wasn't the year of. So anyway, yeah, they've had. Otherwise, it's basically not very successful road trip.
Yeah.
I looked through. It was.
Did you look through the BC
splits?
road trips too?
No, I didn't do that.
Okay.
I was just looking at the U.S.
Yeah, okay.
I can do that. Or maybe Kevin can do that for us.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's nice the guys are coming home. They have a bit of a break here leading into this Lethbridge game on Friday. We haven't seen a lot of Lethbridge lately. Actually, both these teams were playing Lethbridge and the Blades. Blades, this is our first game playing them all season.
Yeah, that's
Which
crazy. It's the end of January.
Unbelievable. Yeah, it's just bizarre.
A division rival. Like
Yeah, so now they must be crammed in there in the next 2 months.
6 games, I assume, we play against them. We probably won't play the 8 against them this year.
Right, yeah. But still, it's bizarre not to play them until
end of January.
mid to late January, yeah. Lethbridge game is the organ donation promotion?
Yeah. It's not the Don Cherry organ donation anymore, but
it's
just
still. They probably still had some of those jerseys already made, so they're just going with it because Edmonton had the suit.
Well, no, they went just Hockey Night in Canada.
Right,
It's
yes.
called now.
Yeah.
Maybe is the thing. So yeah, Edmonton and PA, they had 2 different jerseys there. So I wonder what we're going to be rocking on Friday.
Yeah, and those are up for auction starting Wednesday, I think.
Oh,
they
really?
said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on whatever that website is, 32auctions.com.
Oh, yeah.
So Lethbridge coming in is, where are they sitting here? 26 and 11. They're third in the Central.
I mean, you look at that Central Division. 3rd place in the Central Division is nothing to shake your head at.
No,
They'd be the top team in the East.
absolutely. Yeah.
So, and they're 6-2 in the past 10, so they're doing all right. And they got Ocular and Cousins back
Cousins
from
and
World Juniors
Addison
and Addison.
Yeah. So if anything, some decent players to see there.
Yeah.
If they're all playing. And then first game against Saskatoon. Saskatoon, like we were saying last week, kind of looking for an identity. We don't really know what they're going for right now. Sitting in the last wild card spot with 47 points.
Yeah, they're pretty comfy there.
They would really have to go under free fall to
lose out of the playoffs there. They're 7-3 in their past 10.
But I don't see them making a lot of gains either. I think they just kind of hold steady, get into the last wild card spot, and
yeah, Calgary's 2 points ahead of them, and then Brandon's another 2 points ahead of Calgary. So and Brandon's the hottest team right now. They're 9-1.
yes,
They've really on a roll.
yeah,
Like
they really are.
Between them and Winnipeg. Winnipeg's 8-2 in the past 10, so that's really taken. I had no idea Winnipeg was going to be this good. I had not a clue.
I didn't expect this good. I did expect them not to be the worst. I expected a step up from last year when they were in Kootenay, but yeah, they've really they've looked good lately. I guess getting Peyton Krebs back.
Yeah, I didn't know how, but I mean they were decent before that, and then he's just added that extra.
That's true. Yeah,
He's like a big trade for them, right? He's an excellent player. We've seen that many times here already.
Yeah. Well, I guess that gets into our next talk. Or anything you want to say about Lethbridge or Saskatoon?
Yeah, not
Nothing
really.
in particular? Yeah.
No.
What are you predicting?
Can we get 1 point out of these 2 games?
A point?
Yeah.
Point? Sure. Let's go with that.
Yeah, Lethbridge is going to be tough. Saskatoon, yeah, we could maybe wiggle a point, maybe 2 out of Saskatoon.
Yeah.
We haven't seen them yet, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so let's talk about the rest of the league as we were kind of getting into here. So the dust is starting to settle after a fairly big trade week. Hey?
Yeah, it's all kind of shaken out. And
Yeah. Max Paddock's rolling there in PA.
Yeah,
Which is
so
awesome to see.
first 3 games, 3 starts, 3 wins, 3 first stars.
Yeah.
Now they did lose to Red Deer last night in overtime, which is unfortunate because we're trying to catch Red Deer.
Yes.
Do we want to stay out of those bottom 3 spots?
Yeah, so speaking of the bottom 3 spots, you've got, my fear is, so we have Swift Current's pick, right? So that's why those games against Swift Current were so big. You want to keep them down.
Yeah.
Because you want their first overall pick in this upcoming draft.
It's not guaranteed, right? It's a lottery, but...
Yes, you're right. Yeah, yeah. But you want them in the bottom 3, which
you want the bottom 3 for sure. Yeah.
They should stay down there. Now, Moose Jaw, they're in just a free fall here.
Yeah, they're 1-9 again.
They're only 2 points up on Swift.
I know.
Like, I mean, they've replaced their coach.
Traded away their best player, their goalie.
So you don't expect much from them. I don't know if we have many games against them anymore.
Yeah,
I
I'm
hope
not sure.
so. That'd be nice. But I wanted to look at, so when you compare the East versus West, so Regina, we're sitting at 31 points and we're 2 out of a wild card spot. But when you look at the Western wild card, you have Seattle with 39. So 39 points, that is. So their last wild card is 8 points ahead of us.
Yeah, that's reachable for the
Yeah.
Pats.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah.
And then you look at the Eastern wild card, Saskatoon's 47, so
Yeah,
16
that's 16.
points.
That's a little
It's
unreachable.
double.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. The East is a little tougher, right? It's
It
just
is.
the way it is.
It's-
It's just the imbalance, unfortunately.
Yeah. Like, there's not much you can do about it. It just
No.
kind of sucks. Something I was noticing. Yeah, you
I
said...
think there's a little, and what I've heard is there's kind of a little reward for the first team that doesn't make the playoffs in the East Conference. So right near Red Deer might get a little incentive.
Like,
Just
how
because
much
of the imbalance.
incentive?
I have no idea how much it is, but there's some monetary, not incentive, but concession because they don't make the playoffs
Huh.
because of the imbalanced conferences. So
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of value we're talking about, but it is there.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm starting to see kind of the cream rise to the top here. It took a little longer than usual, but the way I'm seeing it is Edmonton and Portland, I would say, are kind of that top tier, right?
I'd even put Kamloops in there.
Would you?
Yeah. I mean, they're not.
I had them in the next.
You're in the next tier.
So you have like 1 and then maybe 1B. You have
Okay.
Kamloops, PA. Maybe Winnipeg kind of proven themselves in there. Everett had a bit of a slip, but
yeah, they've been
if they
struggling
can,
lately. Yeah.
if they can get back things going, and then they'll be. And then you got teams like Brandon, 9-0 streak. That's nothing to shake a stick at. If they can
No.
get hot, their goaltender's playing fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, a bunch of
So-
shutouts there.
Yeah, it was like 3 in the last.
Yeah,
I don't know how many
5 games
starts.
or
Yeah,
something. 5 or
unbelievable.
6, yeah.
So yeah, I was starting to see things heat up in the after the trade deadline, and
Yeah, there's no one team kind of like the PA of last year or
No.
this year.
No.
There's a few teams, which is good.
Yeah. it's more exciting.
Yeah.
Now, if and the thing we were with Rod Pearson, we were talking about how to get grow the dub, and that's what I think they need to do. Is like we subscribe to the WHL package, but they just need to make it more readily available that when you come home you can just turn it on, like I do with the NHL now. Like, because there's so many good games that if it was just easier, and like right now I have to sit in front of my laptop. I just want to be able to sit on the couch, not have to fuck around with wires and streaming and casting and all this shit. I just wanted to turn it on and it just work. Whether it's an app or whatever they do, I don't know. But if they want to get some more interest in the league, that's where I think you need to do it. WHL Live is proven to be okay this season, at least. It's
the quality
been reliable and the quality is coming up.
And there's no audio issues that I've found, like on the away audio.
Yep. Yeah, it's been like it used to be. The sync was off. Sometimes there was both coming in at the same time. So they've kind of resolved that. Things gotten better. Now just make it
easier,
less
to access.
barriers. Just on.
Yeah.
And I think that'd be awesome. And I would consume way more WHL. But right now, just that, just when you're cooking supper or sitting around and you just want to turn something on, and you don't want to spend a bunch of time
screwing
around, right?
Yeah.
So that's my feeling.
That's your rant of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens next year with possibly a new provider. Maybe a new provider will become new technology, a new platform.
I don't
or whatever.
expect TV coverage, like straight up TV channel. I think that's not going to happen.
No,
but,
no.
Yeah,
I think Spokane had a TV broadcast going that evening. Because they actually had they had that coach interview at the TV timeout, which are, I think, absolutely useless. dumb. I'm pretty sure every coach gets annoyed.
Oh,
by those.
right at the 10?
Yeah.
Oh,
at the
wow.
TV timeout.
Yeah.
Yeah, they interviewed Viveros.
Oh.
Just some stupid question.
On the bench or whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually, going back to that Spokane game, one thing I did forget to mention, it's pretty cool. So Ty Smith, he's the captain of Spokane, and his brother is Zach Smith.
Yeah.
And so Zach went out and did the pregame ceremonial face-off.
Yep.
So I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah, that was really cool. I don't know whose idea that was, but
yeah, I don't know if they
awesome to see.
announced Pratt and he said, "Hey, you go instead" or whatever.
Yeah.
But so there was 5 pucks there, and there was an interview with their dad at the intermission, which I actually listened to, and there was like a wager, kind of friendly bet, and then something about they were betting on the face-off or whatever, but Ty took 3 of the 5 pucks. Usually the home team takes the puck or whatever if there's 2, but there's so many that he took 3 to make sure he had more than Zach did.
Oh, shout out to my Oma. She's listening right now. It must be some help from my my wife helping my grandmother listen. I think most of our downloads come from family, so maybe that's another one we'll get.
Matt Rowe was watching. He was the first viewer to tune in, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm watching football, so I'll listen later."
Oh, okay.
He commented on Twitter.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was kind of a good. They had an interview with the dad. They talked about the family stuff, and I thought that was kind of cool. But
yeah, and I missed that. You said, "Oh, you should listen to it," and I was, "How are you listening?" Because
you have
usually WHL Live just goes black during.
Yeah, so that's another different thing this year. It used to just play the whole radio broadcast, like intermission. You could listen to the Pats intermission on the road,
right?
But now they not edit it out, but they only broadcast what Phil says. So he's like, "Okay, we're doing this interview."
Yeah,
because they used to do like alumni features and stuff like that. You could listen to. But it doesn't come through on WHL Live anymore. But if you go over to the home broadcast, you get everything. Well, I mean, it did this time. Maybe they don't get the radio interviews or whatever they do on the home side either. I don't know. But this looked like it was a TV broadcast, and so I listened to that interview.
Awesome. I see you're wearing the Blue Jays. Did you see their new uniforms?
Yeah, I don't know about them. I don't know.
They went back to the powder blue. Now is that just a special? Or
yes,
is that,
yes. It's a third. It's not
okay. I thought it was all the time.
It's not permanent or.
Oh, okay.
So I'm pretty sure they still have the whites, the blues, the grays, and then the powder blues, and then they still have the red for Canada Day. They said
right.
So yeah, I don't know. It is what it is.
All right. Anything else you want to go over tonight?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, thanks, Mom and Dad, for listening. And keep up those downloads. Anyone else? Again, we try and broadcast live on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. We'll come at you again next week after these 2 games. And we'll see you guys at the rink. Good night.